Hello, I'm Tony Guida. This is My New York. With about to Gabriel Garcia Marquez's novel Love in the Time of Cholera, I'm calling today's program Love in the Time of COVID, a new love story featuring an unlikely protagonist, Andrew Cuomo. The governor's daily COVID briefings are winning hearts and minds everywhere, viewers swooning over comments like this.
That we go out there today and we kick coronavirus ass. That's what I say.
Suddenly, a control freak has become Paddington Bear. What is going on with Andrew Cuomo? Few political observers know Cuomo as well as my guest today, Doug Muzzio. He once called Cuomo Machiavellian. Let's hear what Doug thinks of him now. Doug Muzzio, so good to see you, old friend. You look well. Are you well?
Yes, I am. And you look well, and stay well and wash your hands.
Yes, and eat a nectarine, as Mel Brooks said. Um, we might as well give your official title so the folks at the school will be happy.
Doug Muzzio, Professor of Public Affairs at the Mark School, Baruch College, CUNY.
Terrific. You said in the past, more than once, I think, you described Andrew Cuomo as Machiavellian. What do you think now?
I think he's still Machiavellian. He's a follower of Machiavelli and Sun Tzu's Art of War. He believes that love is good, but fear is better than love. And, he's a hammer and he doesn't play well in the sandbox. But at the same time, he is giving the classic Machiavellian arguments for being a leader. So, Machiavelli has got good points and bad points, and Andrew is exhibiting the good points.
We forget perhaps that Machiavelli also wrote poems and composed songs and did other things. But you mentioned Cuomo as a hammer, and I was charmed by the quote that Maureen Dowd had in her column last week, where she quoted a former aide of the governor as saying he sees himself as a hammer and therefore everybody else is a nail.
Well, I know, great minds think alike. Queen's kids.
Yeah, but if he's this hammer, if he's this nail, even though, as you say, he's two-sided or multi-sided like Machiavelli was, what are we seeing now? How does a control freak and a Machiavellian, cunning politician become the guy we're seeing on these updates, these virus updates?
Well, he's become a father figure. He's telling the country, quote, "This is the way it is, kid." He gives you facts, he gives you figures, he gives you analysis, he gives you therapy, he gives you humor, he gives you, he gives you the Italian father of the family.
Yeah, and he's made reference to the family more than once. He talked about his mother not being expendable. We may go to that quote. Well, we might as well mention it now. I mean, I think the lieutenant governor of Texas talked about how, he talked in Darwinian terms. The old people may have to be sacrificed for the good of the economy. And then Andrew Cuomo said this.
Yeah, my mother is not expendable. And your mother is not expendable. And our brothers and sisters are not expendable. And we're not going to accept a premise that human life is disposable. and we're not going to put a dollar figure on human life. The first order of business is save lives, period, whatever it costs.
Tony, he's made it personal. He brings it down to the level of person, and he does it in a clear, concise, engaging way. And people are swooning. Some people almost literally. I mean, Nikki Haley almost swooned. I mean, he's drawing praise from a broad net.
Yeah, I mean, the anecdotes abound. I have a very good friend in Astoria, a woman, Isabella. Known her a long time. She's bright. She's savvy. And she has been watching Cuomo in these briefings and said to me the other day, I want to take him home and cook for him and do his laundry.
Right. I mean, I guess it's within a certain political framework. Clearly, you look at this as sort of in a partisan lens, but Nikki Haley, for example, didn't think of it that way. And there are Republicans who are grudgingly admiring the way that Andrew is a male public communicator, masterful. And this is an example of it.
When you say he's made it personal, and it's so obvious that he has, this is a guy known for strategy, for strategic political thinking, and he is that.
Yes.
But this is not strategic for him politically. This is
I think that I take his denial of interest in national office at his word, and I have from the beginning that he's not going to be a candidate. So he just looks like he cares. There is a feeling of empathy, and he's got the perfect foil in Trump.
Mr. Trump doesn't know the meaning of the word empathy.
Not at all. Not at all. And you see him at his rally briefings that he reads speeches monotonically, doesn't know when the sentences end. He's totally inept and incompetent. And Cuomo plays good cop, bad cop with him. He praises the president when the president does right by New York, but then in the very next sentence, he contradicts the president, criticizing him without using his name. So he don't need Bill de Blasio as the bad cop. You know, he's playing both roles. And so far, Cuomo's taken the lead in the dance. Cuomo called for the Army Corps of Engineers. Cuomo called for more ventilators. Cuomo has been really the national voice of reason, if you will, science, except for the professionals.
And empathy, I mean, you know, I use that word. Empathy at its simplest definition is concern and feeling for others, other people. I don't think Trump has that quality.
He doesn't give a blank at all. It's all about him and his family. That's it. Case closed.
He is supposed to be, Trump, a master of public relations. At least that's what we've seen in building his brand, his name over the years, his brand.
Yep.
He sure as heck isn't mastering the PR, or hasn't been up till now, mastering the PR of this.
Yeah, but wait, I have to see the national polling. It doesn't resonate with you and me and you know, those with a world view, but what about the tens of millions of bleeps who are out there and believe that he's doing a good job? So I don't want to confuse my, you know, circle of acquaintances and who I read and listen to. I don't know. I don't know.
I understand what you're talking about, that the polling is going to show, or at least recently has shown, that a majority of people believe he's handling this well. Frankly, I don't understand that.
Neither do I.
This is more than, I would offer, I think that this is more than my opinion, more than your opinion. It's looking at what's happening in front of us and making rational judgments. What's happening in front of us is that our president at the end of January is saying about this virus, we have it totally under control. It's going to be just fine.
It's a hoax. It's a Democratic hoax. And it's not only him, it's his allies at Fox and others who lied to the American people and misled. He's got blood on. Boston said it in an editorial. He's got blood on his hands, and they lay out the indictment.
So I can understand polling says one thing, but it seems to me that sentient human beings, when they see a man acting this way, when they see a man who even recently, I used a January 22nd quote, but I think just last week, he was saying, well, now that he's becoming more somber about it, he's saying, what was the quote? He's saying, it's going to be a very difficult 2 weeks, maybe.
Right. And then it's Easter. And then it's the end of the month. And then it's, 200,000 dead. Come on.
I'm just looking at what's happening and making kind of, what I think are reasonable judgments on the facts. And the facts are horrible. I mean, horrific. The unemployment numbers last week were double what the economists expected.
Well, it's nearly 7 million.
6 2/3 million people.
Right.
So,
right.
I mean, the economy is cratering.
We are living through what our parents and grandparents were, and they were children of the Great Depression. It could dwarf the Great Depression in terms of unemployment, dislocation in the economy, hundreds of thousands of deaths, many millions of people suffering loss. It's an immense catastrophe, and in the long scope of history, 50 years, this is going to be an inflection point. It's going to signal in a radical change in politics, culture, social, activities, hugging your grandkids. I mean, it's profound.
I should tell the viewers, you're seeing this on a Wednesday night. We taped this about 5 days ago. But I think, even though events may have overtaken some of this, probably the apocalyptic nature of this is even getting worse, if that's possible.
Yeah, it's certain. I mean, maybe I have an apocalyptic cast of mind being a science fiction addict and, having been steeped in those kind of books, but it's got the feel like I feel like a character in an apocalyptic novel, and how me and others are going to survive this. And I'm reading Defoe's A Journal of the Plague Year. It's happening again. The lessons are incredible. You look back at, 1665 in London, and it's contemporaneous. So I don't know.
Yeah, I was saying to somebody the other day, wouldn't it be interesting if we were alive 100 years from now, so that we could read the histories,
right,
of this,
right,
and the the books,
right,
well,
right.
We're living through it, and I've never seen any. Yeah, silly to say, I've never seen anything like it. So we've been talking about the politics of this. What about Joe Biden, presumptive Democratic nominee, but basically invisible?
Yeah. Maybe the Democrats are using a rope-a-dope strategy, and Biden's using the same strategy that run the election being Trump versus Trump, run Trump against himself, run a whole series of time speeches. It's hoax. See his gradual evolution.
Your interpretation of what the Democrats might be up to is very kind and even ingenious. But I see articles that talk about, they don't seem to understand how to use social media.
No.
So, I would hope that they're doing what, the rope-a-dope you talked about, but I don't think so.
No, that's wishful thinking. Come on. But it might work in states like Michigan. It may have, I don't know. Got to think better strategy. I'm not getting paid enough. I couldn't do it anymore.
Well, Biden doesn't. What's also odd to me, and you know a little bit about more how campaigns are structured than I do, but we keep reading that he has no money. He doesn't have enough money.
Yeah, but he's never had any money. He doesn't have I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know. It's befuddling. This guy is ready to be hung, and they're to mix a metaphor, they're in a circular firing squad.
I love your gestures. I've missed them so much.
Oh, guys, I'm sorry.
Folks who haven't watched CUNY over the years, Doug did a show on this channel for about, 200 years. And it was all about this and this.
Yes,
this.
I know.
I'm so happy to see that again.
I'm glad it shows through on my, my Chromebook laptop.
Yeah, this is some strange way to chat. I wish we were in the same room. A guy we haven't talked about in all of this is our mayor. What's his name? I forgot.
I don't. He's in the gym. I don't know.
Yeah, he's in the gym. What's your take on how he's been doing, or have you even paid attention to what he's doing?
Well, I mean, in one sense, I mean, he's in a catastrophe. He is surrounded by an event, a disease that is simply beyond human control at this level. And he is frustrated by that and angry. And he's been antagonistic toward the president. I mean, a lot of people see him as the bad cop versus Cuomo's good cop. I don't see it that way, but that, his constant attacking, harping, etc., is maybe doing this city, or did it in the past at any rate, some harm rather than good.
What do you think? I mean, neither of us is epidemiologists. We can only listen to what the experts say. And principal among those is Dr. Fauci, who is a remarkable man, has served many presidents, both Republican and Democrat. And he's talking, about a cataclysm of deaths. And lately, this is something we're not going to be getting out of, like in May or maybe even June. How do you react to what you're hearing from Dr. Fauci?
I've got to be very pessimistic that the scientific estimates of the diminution and what we can do at the various stages of the diminution are really now measured in several months and maybe longer. So, I mean, it's it's an evolving situation. The science has got to catch up to it. The facts have to get up to it. They have to have data to put into their models. So, but my gut feeling is take the most pessimistic view that's got scientific basis and go with that one. So I'm thinking right now, I'm going to be locked up where I am for at least 3 to 4 months at the minimum.
Yeah. Yeah. And of course, the miracle answer, or not miracle, but the practical, somewhere between miracle and practical, is the answer, which is a vaccine, but that's not happening anytime.
12 to 18 months is the expectation. Unless because they have to go through all those testing procedures, which are valuable. And then the other thing is that they find an existing drug or combination of drugs that is effective in some kind of treatment of COVID-19. Now, the president, in his typical bull bleep way, threw out, oh yeah, my hunch is that this is going to be the drug of the future. That would be part of my Trump versus Trump.
Yeah, hunch.
If he's wrong.
Hunch. We don't, we don't need hunches. We need facts and we need empathy.
And we need leadership. We need people who are going to lead, not only appeal to the cult, all of us.
Yeah. Well, that brings us back to the subject of where we started, Andrew Cuomo showing leadership and showing empathy. And you had an interesting observation the other day when we were talking on the phone, when you talked about what we're seeing is an entertainment, and I don't mean that in a disparaging way, an entertainment that, is one of the few we have left with everything else being gone. One of the things to watch, there's no movies, there's no theater, there's,
no sports. Come on, no sports. I mean, come on.
No sports. Just amplify that a little bit for me. This is the national entertainment, and Cuomo is the primetime star of it. Yeah,
in effect, you have dueling dancing with the stars, and you have the big star and the slightly less luminous star, and Trump must be watching the TV, and after having dominated the media agenda and focused the conversation in the direction he wants, he's got a rival in it. He's the only rival for the center stage. So, it's got to be driving Trump crazy, even though he said, in reaction to a question, I guess, that he wouldn't mind running against Andrew Cuomo. I'd be terrified of running against Andrew Cuomo.
Yeah, and
but he's not going to run.
No, I don't think so. I don't think there's room for him in this.
No, and I think that he doesn't. He wants it, but he doesn't. And it doesn't. Oh yeah, well, I mean, I think there really is a father-like son. They're both homebodies. They never strayed far from Albany. They didn't stay overnight at places. They're really, I mean, going back to the Italian family, they are an Italian family.
Yeah. As I said at the top, you've known Andrew Cuomo. We've both known him a long time. Does any of this, what you're seeing now, surprise you coming out of this?
Yeah, you know what surprised me? Mario talked about campaigning in poetry and governing in prose, and Andrew had the reputation of being a prose kind of guy. And very rarely have I seen him at the, a rhetorician, except at his father's funeral. But the speech before the National Guardsmen in front of the Javits Center is a truly great speech by what would be a wartime leader to his troops.
When was that, Doug?
March 28th or 29th. It reminded me of, it didn't have the power of the St. Crispin's Day speech, where whoever it was, Henry IV, urged on the troops at Agincourt. And it was, a suicidal mission. And they went. And
so
we'll see.
So you're not surprised?
I am surprised, but I'm not shocked.
Well, let's hope he keeps it up. He's certainly giving us the facts. The facts are horrific.
Right, but he's telling you it straight, and he's tough, and he strategizes. So I would feel much better if he were the president than the current president.
Thank you so much for this. Thank you for being emotional. Thank you for the gestures. Thank you for being Doug Muzzio. I have missed you. The CUNY audience has missed you. It's great to see you.
Thank you.
Okay. And thank you, folks, for watching. We'll be back with you next Wednesday.